Recording? Okay. So, first of all, disclaimer, I just came from Family Feud where I was skanking it up as McGonagall, so I'm a bit out of the lecturing mindset right now.
One question. Were those your deflated balloons that I stepped over on my way?
Yes, those were. I finally gave in to Liz's desire to pop them.
Okay.
Yes!
Woo!
She popped the balloon.
Sorry. Okay.
Simple minds, simple pleasures. So, where are my Neville Luna shippers at? Thank you. The rest of you,
wait,
you're all dead wrong. And I will now explain to you why. Now, I've been a Neville Luna shipper for a long time, since the 6th book came out. I've had essays published on it. Yeah, it's intense. And I expected them to end up together in Deathly Hallows. And then we didn't really get any specific answer to it. But then, in the spate of interviews Jo Rowling did afterwards, she did give us an answer. So, she gave an interview to NBC Dateline on July 29th of 2007, which was 8 days after the last book came out. And she said that as time passed and she watched her characters mature, she started to feel a bit of a pull between the unlikely pair. First of all, it's a hell of a bit more than a bit of a pull. More like an epic gravitational force drawing them together.
Luna probably thought was due to some random creature, but
yeah.
It's actually real.
And she continued to say that she decided to leave their relationship open because doing so otherwise would have, quote, felt too neat. Which honestly is lame. Because every other character in the books ends up with their high school sweetheart, except for Neville Luna. Why? Harry, Ginny end up together. Ron, Hermione end up together. Everyone.
Draco doesn't.
Draco, random person.
Ends up with someone he went to school with.
Who we never even met.
Astoria.
Anyway. But then but she said she'll leave their relationship open. So, like, I'm okay with that. Because in my mind, they did end up together, so fine, you know, that's what I decide, that's what happens in my fanfics. We move on with life. But then, she had to go and ruin everything. The very next day, July 30th, in a live chat she did with Bloomsbury, she suddenly announces that Neville marries Hannah Abbott, generic Hufflepuff number 10.
Okay, I'm a Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs aren't that bad.
They're not.
Tonks is a Hufflepuff, so.
Except Hannah Abbott isn't a character.
Well,
She is. She's a name.
She's part of the army.
she's in it. She was just not very nice.
Wasn't she part of the DA?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't really do anything extra.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just because she didn't do anything.
She runs the pub.
Yeah, so apparently she runs a pub. Yay.
Yes! She's smart kind of girl.
Yeah, Cheryl's lifelong ambition.
With the bartender upstairs.
But yeah. But then it gets worse. Because then she announced that it turns out Luna would end up with Rolf Scamander.
Who's that?
Newt Scamander's
Who's
son.
that? He's the grandson of Newt Scamander, the dude who wrote Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. No mention of either of them anywhere in the 7 books. Really? Like, how much of a cop-out can you have? So, honestly, I don't believe it. I mean, really. Like, Rolf Scamander. What? It didn't make sense to me. And then I'm like, am I missing something? So I decided to go back through the books, and no, I wasn't missing anything. Luna and Neville should have ended up together. That's what the books led up to, and I will stand by that. Now, Jo Rowling has never been a fan of the whole Neville-Luna ship. She, actually, before Half-Blood Prince came out, back when she actually used her site for something and would, you know, communicate with the fans. Remember those good old days? She made a post in the rumors section titled "Neville and Luna will hook up in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince." and it read, quote, "The Luna-Neville shippers are much less vehement and scary than the Harry, Hermione, Ron, Hermione tribes, so I hope I won't receive too much hate mail for quashing this rumor." Oh, you think we're less scary? Just wait. "I see Neville and Luna as very different kinds of people, and while they share a certain isolation within Hogwarts, I don't think that's enough to foster true love. Friendship, perhaps, although I think that Neville would always find Luna's wilder flights of fancy alarming." Don't buy it. So, first of all, she said that Neville and Luna wouldn't end up together in the Half-Blood Prince. And indeed they didn't. She didn't say anything about them ending up together during Deathly Hallows. So, yeah, I was waiting for it to happen. And okay, so we'll go point by point. She says that they're very different kinds of people, and while they share a certain isolation within Hogwarts, that's not enough to foster true love. So they're different people. Yeah. As opposed to Ron and Hermione, James and Lily. I mean, opposites attract in the Harry Potter series. You know, we have precedents for that. So why wouldn't these two? And if all they shared was a certain isolation, the fact that they were unpopular, I agree, it would be lame. You know, you can't really build true love on that. But they share a lot more than isolation together. I mean, first of all, they're good friends. You know, they hang out in the same group, and when everyone else is coupled up, what are they going to do? But beyond that, they have battled together twice, actually. So they've been through a lot together. That, and they do have stuff in common. I mean, both of them don't really have a mother figure anymore. You know, they can bond over things like that. And then she says that Neville would always find Luna's wilder flights of fancy alarming. So, okay, if he finds her wilder flights of fancy alarming, that's okay. You know, because, let's face it, a lot of men in the Harry Potter series are terrified of their women.
With good reason.
Yeah, look at Ron and Hermione. When come exam time and Hermione turns into a psycho, yeah. No, but same thing with Harry. You know, Harry does not want to mess with Ginny. She'll just bad bogey hex him, and she's done with
Good
that.
girl takes after her mommy.
And then there's Mr. and Mrs. Weasley.
Yeah, who is
Leave my author alone.
terrified.
Yeah.
Leave our author alone.
And, like, honestly, the thing is, they probably have the most successful relationship in the book series. They certainly have the most to show for it.
Having the most fun. Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, yeah. So, honestly, I don't think that disproved it. I stayed a Neville Luna shipper throughout. So, okay, let's go back through the books and see how their relationship sort of evolved. You know, why did we end up shipping them? So we meet Luna, appropriately in the chapter titled Luna Lovegood, in Order of the Phoenix. Set up the scenes. They're on the Hogwarts Express. Luna's just sitting in a carriage, and then Neville, Harry, and Ginny join her. And, they're just chugging along, and it says, Neville chuckled. Luna turned her pale eyes upon him instead. "And I don't know who you are." "I'm nobody," said Neville hurriedly. "Aww."
I have a quote actually from sixth book.
We'll get to it. Like, the thing is, in movies, the cliche is always when a guy is interested in a girl, he ends up forgetting his name, or vice versa. We have a precedent for this in the Harry Potter books. Just look at Ginny in Chamber of Secrets. She couldn't even speak around Harry. She got over that, though. And then, even better, next page it says, they're riding along on the express. Luna Lovegood's popping eyes appeared over the top of her upside-down magazine again, watching what Neville was doing. Whoa! Luna's not reading the Quibbler, she's watching Neville? This girl is always reading the Quibbler. I mean, on the train ride, probably in class. I mean, she reads it during the welcoming feast. So the fact that she's not reading it to watch Neville, I think says that maybe she's a bit interested in him too. But then the biggest piece of evidence comes a few pages later when they're discussing the Quibbler, you know, that's run by Luna's father. And Hermione insulted, like, oh, come on, everyone knows that's rubbish. And, quote, "Excuse me," said Luna. Her voice had suddenly lost its dreamy quality. "My father's the editor." And she snatches back the Quibbler. And this just seems out of character for Luna. Like, this girl almost never gets angry, ever. And yet, like 150 pages later, we see that happen again, where Hermione once again insults Luna. I think she's telling Neville about heliopaths in the Ministry of Magic, and Hermione says, oh, come on, they don't exist. Yeah, they don't exist, Neville, said Hermione tartly. Oh, yes, they do, said Luna angrily. This is the only time in the entire book series that Luna is described as angry. Literally the only time. And now compare that to the scene later in the book where Luna, Hermione, Harry, and Rita Skeeter are hanging out in Hogsmeade. I'm guessing your father runs some stupid little village newsletter, Rita said. No, said Luna, dipping her onion back into the gilly water. He's the editor of the Quibbler. Rita snorted. Important stories he thinks the public needs to know, she said witheringly. I could manure my garden with the contents of that rag. And Luna doesn't even react. She's just sitting there, sipping her drink, singing Weasley is our king. And, I mean, it doesn't add up. Why is it that when Hermione says something, well, mildly unpleasant to her, Luna gets all defensive and ticked off, and yet when Rita just blatantly insults her, Luna doesn't even care? Why? Because who's present both times that Hermione insults her, who isn't present when Rita's there? Neville. He was there with them in the train car. He was there with them outside. And, I mean, come on. If this girl kept making a fool of you in front of the guy that you were kind of interested in, yeah, you'd get pissed off. Even Luna would get pissed off. Right? And we see a bit more of this when they're heading to the Department of Mysteries, you know, to save Sirius Black and everything. And, you know, they're trying to decide who's going to go. It's Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Neville, Luna. And, you know, Harry's like, come on, Ron and I will go. And then Hermione's like, no, we need 3 Thestrals, I'm going too. And then Ginny says 4. And then Luna throws in, I think there are 6 of us, actually. Aww. She wants Neville along. And, yeah, they have a whole battle in the Department of Mysteries. This is actually quite well done in the movies because there are a few glances between them I enjoyed. But yeah, so that's about it for Order of the Phoenix. So we see that they've developed, at the very least, a friendship where, you know, they want each other around and they want to look good in front of each other.